Welcome back. I'm Gavin, and today we're going to learn about the steps we go through to make rational decisions. And we're also going to learn about some of the techniques we use to generate solutions when a problem is being addressed. Now, when we're faced with developing a solution for a given problem, does the best solution come about because we have a really huge number of potential options to choose from? Or does it come about because the options we have are all high quality? Well, that really depends on the problem you face and the context, but the important thing is that a rational approach is used to solve the problem at hand. So in many business situations, a rational decision-making process is effective because it provides managers with a really good set of clearly defined steps to work through when looking for solutions to various problems. So this type of rational decision-making process has been shown to have a positive influence on company performance in industries that are relatively stable. By contrast, rational decision-making processes can have a negative influence on firm performance in much more dynamic environments where there is frequent, rapid change occurring. But nonetheless, a key factor in successful decision-making is identifying the problem and developing a set of alternative solutions. So as a result, there are a number of techniques firms can employ in order to promote creativity and generate potential solutions for current problems. So these techniques include cost-benefit analysis, affinity diagrams, the analytic hierarchy process, game theory, nominal group theory, and of course, trial and error, just to name a few. However, three of the more commonly used techniques to generate ideas for potential solutions are brainstorming, the Delphi method, and de Bono's good old 6 thinking hat strategy. So let's take a look at more of these three in a little bit more detail. Now, brainstorming is a technique made famous in the 1950s by American advertising guru Alex Osborne in his book Applied Imagination. The brainstorming process involves a number of fundamental principles. For example, group members are told to express all ideas that come to mind, and really the wilder is often better. In brainstorming as well, quantity is really often the primary objective, so the more ideas generated is also the better. Now, the big thing that sets brainstorming apart from a lot of other methods is that criticism of other people's ideas is an absolute no-go and completely frowned upon. Because really, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal of brainstorming is to improve and combine ideas that have already been presented. Now, another style of group decision making is the Delphi method. The Delphi method originated in a series of studies that the Rand Corporation conducted in the 1950s. It allows for an individual or a group to obtain consensus amongst a group of experts about a specific topic. So it's a method for structuring a group communication process so that the process is effective in allowing a group of individuals as a whole to deal with a complex problem. To accomplish this structured communication, group members are given the opportunity to provide input, evaluate the input from other group members, and then really revise their own contribution based on feedback. So as an example, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, a 4-round multi-centre Delphi exercise was conducted amongst 13 centres in 11 European countries of the European Paediatric Dialysis Working Group between March 16 and March 20 that year. Using of the Delphi method enabled the team of really geographically disparate experts to develop testing strategies, policies around prevention of COVID-19 transmission, as well as changes in, multinational clinical care guidelines. So it was really effective in that situation. So finally, we have the 6 thinking hats strategy by Edward de Bono. Now, 6 thinking hats was a book written by the British physician and psychologist Edward de Bono in the mid-1980s. The idea from this book is that every individual has 6 different thinking styles they employ, with each of the thinking styles identified by a different coloured hat, as evidenced in the diagram there on the slides. Group members or teams of group members can actually wear one hat, and they use only that thinking style to evaluate the problem at hand. Group members, or again, teams of group members, can then switch hats and consider the problem with a really different thinking style. Gives them a different lens to look at the problem through. So by mentally wearing and switching the hats, individuals are actually able to focus on the problem and are much less likely to drift off task, which is really, really powerful and much more efficient than some other styles. As a result, individuals can have more impact on the group conversation because they provide much more specific, targeted information. So to wrap up, we've learned that rational decision making really can benefit when we follow a decision making process. This type of rational decision making process has been shown to have a positive influence on company performance in industries that are generally relatively stable. However, using different techniques to develop creative solutions is an important way to select the optimum solution in any given situation. On that note, I'm Gavin. I will see you next time.